Coming up on this episode of the Spiro podcast.
That project, no matter how small it is, and the cool thing that Craig shared was he realized it really wasn't that big of a task to do. But without putting a due date or a deadline on it, that thing filled to be the time that you gave it.
Welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform designed to help you manage your day-to-day real estate visual marketing company and really help you grow as well. We want to see you succeed and grow your business. So thanks for joining us on this podcast. My name is Craig Magrum, host of the Spiro podcast, and with us most every week, our founder, our owner, and co-host of the podcast, Todd Kivimaki. Welcome back, Todd.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. It is incredible to be here again. I missed you all last week. You had a better fill-in for me anyways. You had Steve, our head of sales and marketing at WOW, to give the old showcase talk. So a lot of great information there. Little family emergency on my end, had to run out for, but everything is okay. So thankful for that. And excited to tackle our topic today. Got some news for you and other goodies along the way.
Yeah. We're so glad for you to be able to join us each and every week. And we always share this. If you have a topic, a business related topic to real estate media that you have some questions on or would like some information on, drop us an email, hello@spiro.media. We would love to try and tackle that question. If we don't know or have experience with it, we'll try and find a guest that does. And speaking of guests, Todd, we have another guest coming up next week. We
do. We sure do. Probably just about all of you know of him, have watched his channel. So I guess we're going to push it towards the end, right? We're going to do the old cliffhanger.
Yeah, we'll tease a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, people can fast forward all the way to the end. So I guess you don't know when we're going to say it, but it works. Right. So, but excited about this individual. And we'll have him on next week. Yeah,
excellent. Alrighty, well, let's get things started off. All right, Spiro updates. What's going on in terms of development for the Spiro software, Todd?
Yes, so recently, this would have been last week, you all received Square payment processing. So if you have been waiting for Square, it is in there. We've launched it in beta. So if you want us to put it into your system, no problem. Use the chat bubble and let us know you want Square. We'll open it up and then you can integrate your Square payment processor. Reshoots do not charge you now. So previously in the system, when you would create a reshoot, it would see it as another order and charge you another $5 fee. That no longer happens. So we realize that when you typically have to reshoot, that's not a great situation in our field. It means you have to go back out there. You have time and costs involved in that. And we're just going to eat that fee. No additional $5 fee for a reshoot on a job.
Excellent.
Merge Fleet. So this was an exciting one. So we've launched Merge Fleet in alpha and we have a training course for it. So we've done all of the training. Ryan, my head of training at WOW, and myself, we created a series and he is a wonderful teacher. It's available to you. It's free. If you want it, email me, hello@spiro.media or chat in. Many of you have received it already. You signed up for it. So it's a free sign up. We'll put it into your training course. But just let us know that you want the Merge Fleet training series. And I'm super excited about this. Now, we've used the Merge Fleet at our real estate media company for years. We've put 25,000 videos through it. We use it all day, every day. And it has replaced our need for human editors. The cool thing is it's available to you now. And it's available in a standalone product where you don't have to put it through a task and put in a job. So if you are or are not using Spiro, if you are looking for a great way to increase your average order value, systemize your workflow, and give just a really darn good quality product of video to your client, the Merge Fleet is for you. Again, if you want to find out more information about it, this podcast is not just for the Merge Fleet. I could probably talk about it all day, but it is live. It's out there. It's an alpha. Again, we used it. We've put 25,000 through. So the alpha is just the new controls, and we want to make sure that we can communicate to you all how to use it. We want to set you up for success. The output is dependent on the input. That's what you take in the house. So extremely excited about the Merge Fleet.
Again, if somebody wanted more information on that, again, how did they get a hold of us?
Yes, hello@spiro.media. Just email us there. If you are a Spiro user, just use the chat bubble and we'll get it right to you. Also, if you're not a Spiro user, now might be a great time to sign up. It's free to sign up. Go to spiro.media and click on the sign up bubble. Excuse me, my brain just blanked. Click on the sign up bubble on there. Again, it's free to sign up. We even put $20 of free credit in your account. So it's 20 free bucks. All right. So get in there. You can run some sample input through the Merge Fleet. And we even added in test output that is free to use. So you can do all the tests you would like with the Merge Fleet. We just put a simple watermark on it, but that's free to do. So please use it. We use this a ton. 80% of our shoots at WOW include and upgrade the video. We don't even try to sell photos only. We do photos only, but we only ever talk about our essentials package, which is photo and video. So this is this has done a ton for our business at WOW, and we've held on to this for a little bit and we've used it. I'm so excited for you guys to have it because the ability to shoot more services at a listing is a win-win for everyone involved. Like I said, It increases your average order value, but not only that, but it gives your agents better marketing content. What do all the algorithms, what do all social media channels, what does everybody want? They want video. So this is a good one for all of you.
Can I share a quick anecdote on that parallels this exactly, just to give listeners and viewers a concrete example? So as soon as we're done recording this podcast, I'm headed out to a shoot about 20 minutes away. It's I believe it's like a $750,000 or $800,000 listing, Todd. It's in a really, really nice neighborhood in our market up here in the Toledo area. And when I was talking with the realtor, she's relatively new, maybe licensed the last year or two, something like that.
That's a good listing for for a year or two. Holy cow.
When she called, she said, Craig, I've got a listing in the sanctuary. I'm like, way to go. That is awesome. Because I knew exactly where that neighborhood is. And she goes, I am so excited. I said, awesome. Okay, well, let's get some details. What do you need? Well, I want to schedule photos and, gave me the listing, square footage, all the details that we need. I said, Brandy, are you thinking about doing video for this with this level listing? Oh, no, I think we're just good with photos because this is going to sell quick. I'm like, well, it might. And I understand that, you don't necessarily want to spend the money if it's going to sell quick, but consider this, no pressure, but just keep this in consideration. We want to help you get more listings like this. So if we can provide video for you on this, you can show what you can do for your next potential seller to try and earn their business over the other photographer or the other realtor that might be doing photos only as well. You want to show them everything you can do to market their home and win that next high, that next luxury listing. She goes, I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, add video. I said, awesome. Here's something more you can do. I know this neighborhood and it's near a river. And I was pretty sure there was a pond. I said, is there any water features on that listing, Brand? And she said, well, yeah, there's a pond in the back. I said, if you really want to wow your current seller and again, have some incredible footage to show future potential sellers, how about you consider some aerial video and photo to show this property off, show the water. She goes, oh, I love that. How much is that? Told her the price. Yep. Add it. So I went from photos only to photos, video, and drone, and helped a new realtor understand building her brand. That's what you can do. So practical example of what Todd was just talking about.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's a fabulous tip. And that's a great way to work through any of those. If you guys notice that Craig asked questions and they were, they were leading questions that he knew. So, does it have water? Like, you can lead yourself into those yeses. So, and you might get a no at times. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to ask. So that's a great way to go about it. And it's a great way to give them more marketing and for you to increase your average order value. Like I said, the one thing I didn't say, Craig, is the price of this. So the price of the editing, if you do a standalone edit, so if you just come in, if you don't put a job through the system, it's $12 per video edit, only $12. And if you attach it to a job, which that's the $5 delivery fee, it's just $10. So incredibly cost effective. And after you upload your media to us, you're going to get that thing back in like 15 to 30 minutes. So the turnaround time is just insane. So just as a side note to that, and again, I'll get off of this, but like I said, I could talk about this podcast I could talk about the merge fleet for the whole podcast, but we're R&Ding some vertical video footage right now with the merge fleet so that you can shoot vertical as well. So it's just accepting horizontal footage. It'll take your drone footage. It'll take your camera footage. We're all on iPhones at WOW. That's what we suggest. We think it does a great job with the windows and the tones and the colors, but it will accept vertical in the future. And then also we'll have a vertical add-on to a horizontal video where if you only shoot horizontal, it will take that horizontal footage and turn it into a vertical just so that your agents can get all that reach by uploading a vertical format video to all the sites.
Very cool.
So some really cool stuff there. I've completely gone over my time with updates. I sent out an email last week. I had 14. I know this is cheesy, y'all. It was a Valentine's Day. I sent out 14 updates on February 14th. That is all in there. I do want to hit what's coming up. What's coming up is the metrics section. And I know I'm biased about this section and Spiro, but I'm telling you, this is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before in the metrics that it's going to give you. We're going to host some webinars and do some things to teach you about these metrics and how you use them at your business. But that is coming up very soon. We're also looking at a calendar view update after that, translation for our international users, quantity and variation, the ability to sell the marketing kit. We have new property websites coming, new marketing content coming, and like I said, that vertical merge fleet edit, all coming for you soon.
It's exciting. The updates just keep rolling out.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's dig into our topic this week, shall we, Todd?
Yes, let's do it, Craig. So I'm excited to get back to, we started with goals, y'all remember at the beginning of the year. And we had a few podcasts about goals. Then we took a few tangents and we took a few user questions. And we looked at goals and we talked about taking your sheet and writing down what your goals are and starting there and understanding what you want to accomplish this year. And will you even take the time to write a goal down? Is it important enough to you to write a goal down? If it's not, do you think you're going to do the hard work to achieve it? No, you're not. And again, just to give you another source of information that I go to a lot. I think he's probably one of the best in goals that I've listened to, John Acuff. And he has a podcast called All It Takes Is a Goal. And he's witty. He's a great speaker. And he's very motivating. So if you're looking to dive in a little bit more to these goals, I'm just giving you a very high level, and I'm combining what I learned from his podcast. See, I talked to him like what John taught me. Like, no, I don't know John. I don't know him. I just
we go way back.
Yeah. And then some other coaches, what they've given me. So I combine these things and I give you this Frankenbite, put together idea of what works for me. But if you do want to dig in more on a content expert, John Acuff, All It Takes Is a Goal podcast. So today, what I want to talk about is now taking those goals, and some of them are daily goals, some of them might be weekly goals, but you probably have some really big goals on there. You have something that you can't just sit down and do. It's probably going to take you the course of a year to get it done, or maybe more. And that can be overwhelming, right? That's
paralyzing almost.
Yeah. Like, oh my, like, okay, I'm just starting out in real estate media. I want to quit my job. I don't have any clients. How do I get clients? What editors do I use? How do I take the photos? How do I do the video? What's this thing you're talking about? I have to set up Spiro. And all of these other things that come along with life. And I'd like to have a team of 5 and I'd like to do $1 million in business. Like, how do you get from like wanting to quit my job to saying, hey, I'd love to have a team and I'd love to do $1 million in revenue or 20K a month or whatever it is. You're just not sitting down and doing that in one time.
Right.
So we have an expression we use here at WOW. It's how do you eat a whale? You know, seriously, like if you think about it, like if you had to eat a whale, you have this gigantic, the largest animal in front of you, and how are you going to eat that thing? Well, you're going to eat it one bite at a time. So that's what I'm going to teach you today and show you how I take a really large goal and break it into smaller pieces that are manageable and not paralyzing.
Real quick. You started this off by saying, write down the goal. And I just want to share something silly. Listeners are going to go, Craig, why are you sharing this? So on that first podcast where we talked about goals and talked about writing it down, you asked me, what are some of your goals, Craig? And one of them was cleaning the storage side of my basement. I've been wanting to do that for the last 3 or 4 years, like years. I never wrote down a date to actually do it. And so something else always superseded it and took its place. And it was that I saw it as a massive project because we have a lot of stuff from over the years, you know, memory type stuff. And it's like, oh, I really don't want to do this. And I never wrote it down and I never got it done. Well, I finally, after we did that podcast, I wrote down a date and I talked to my wife. I'm like, Gail, we have to do it. This Saturday is free. You know, let's do it on this Saturday. And now we did end up having to bump it one more time, but I moved it to another date. I actually put it down on the calendar. We got half of it done and it didn't actually take as long as I was thinking it was going to take for even just the half of the side of the basement. So something really simple and goofy. I know it's kind of a silly example, but that's how one small step, one bite, take the first bite, write it down. And you'll start to build momentum. So just kind of a real life example, cleaning a basement, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. That there's a law that is called Parkinson's law. And I learned this actually from a realtor who's a coach, Austin Chevron, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's pretty close to me. Has become a good friend. And I use friend loosely because like we don't hang out, but like I call him. I catch up with him. I know him pretty well.
Right.
But Parkinson's law basically says that the work you have will expand to the time that you give it.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you don't set a deadline, that project, no matter how small it is, and the cool thing that Craig shared was he realized it really wasn't that big of a task to do. But without putting a due date or a deadline on it, that thing filled to be the time that you gave it. And that's kind of one of the tricks and what I wanted to share with you guys today is the way that you take a very big goal, you work it backwards, and you use your calendar like Craig used as well, to hold yourself accountable. And also, that was a great example. Craig, we didn't even talk about this in the show notes before, but you will have times that you need to bump something on your calendar. Well, if the calendar invite comes up and you dismiss it, but you don't do it, that's a problem. Because now you've removed the due date. And Parkinson's law is going to kick in, and that sucker is going to fill to infinity. And you're not going to get it done.
Yeah.
So you just move that little counter event, you move it down to the next free spot, and now you have a new due date. So I used a service called Action Coach, and I don't even know if they're around anymore. And I'm not advocating that you have to use them, but they kind of taught me these techniques, and it's about getting things done. And they had a really neat system where you worked with a coach, and you would talk to your coach about what your goals were, and then they would work with you on how to get them done. So I talked to my coach about some goals that I wanted to get done, and basically what the cadence was and of their system is you basically look at your very big goal and then you begin to break it down. Okay, so if my goal is that I want to do 20K a month and quit my job, what needs to happen? And okay, so let's talk through that situation. Okay, so what needs to happen if I need to quit my job and get to 20K a month? Well, first off, I need to learn how to do this art of real estate media. Okay, so that's just an example. You will put down your exact thing. So you would then list subpoints of that big goal. So you need to learn how to take the correct photos and video. And those are two separate points. You're going to learn to do photos first, and you're going to learn to do video. And then maybe you're going to learn to study, or you're going to study for your 107. You're going to learn to fly the drone. So those are all the things, are the technicals of the job. Okay, great. If you know those, then what needs to happen? Okay, well, I need to then use those skills to do some free shoots, do some sample shoots. Okay, well, great. If you're going to do some sample shoots, what needs to happen? Okay, well, I need to start contacting some agents. Okay, so what agents are you going to start with? Well, I know a couple of agents. I have some friends of the family. Okay, right. We're going to contact friends of the family real estate agents. Okay, write their names down. Okay, and then what do you need to do after you've contacted those two people? Are you done contacting, or is that enough? Well, no, I probably need to contact a few more agents, because that's really only 2 agents that are friends of the family. And I don't know if they have a listing. I don't know what they're going to say. So I probably need to contact some more. Okay, well, how many agents do you need to contact? Okay, well, I feel like I probably need to reach out to at least 30. Okay, great. 30 agents you're going to reach out to. Now, how are you going to contact those agents? Okay, well, I'm going to call them. I'm going to Instagram them. I'm going to email them, whatever the method is. Okay, great. So write that down. And essentially what you're beginning to do is you're breaking apart that really big goal into sub goals. And those are the little tiny bites of the whale, if you will, of eating the entire whale. So now once you break all those down, great. The next thing after you do that is we need to look at a calendar. And for those of you that don't use a calendar, don't like a calendar, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be tough. You need to use a calendar if you want to accomplish these things. You just have to. You have to have some accountability, and having that calendar is it. So let's go back to our initial example, and this is going to go right along with what Craig did with the basement organizing. Okay, so the first thing that we said we needed to do in order to get to 20K a month and quit my job was I have to learn how to take real estate photography to begin with. Okay, great. So what days this week are you going to learn? Are you going to, you're going to study, you're going to follow a course, you're going to practice. Okay, well, I'm going to take Tuesday at 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. Great. And Thursday, the same time block. Okay, great. So now you have 2 1-hour time blocks on your calendar, and actually drag them on there. So Tuesday, 2 to 3 p.m., Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. Okay, great. Is that enough time to learn your photography? No, it's not enough time. I'm going to need more time blocks. Okay, great. Let's look. Can you do anything on the weekend? Do you want more time blocks this week? No, I don't have any availability. I have to wait till the next week. Okay, no problem. So, and all these questions, I didn't communicate this very well, but all of these questions were the questions that the coach was asking me. And then now you can ask yourself, breaking these apart. So you're going to fill up your calendar to get that first subtask done of the main heading, which is learn photography. Then when you're happy with that, great. So you say you have 8 time blocks on your calendar and you feel as though that's sufficient to learn photography. Then you go back and you look, okay, well, can we do anything concurrently? Well, I don't want to learn video until I know photography. Great. Okay, I don't want to do any technicals. Or maybe you say, yeah, I could study for the 107. I don't mind. I can follow a couple YouTube guides, and I know I just need 2 3-hour time blocks. Then what you would do is, do you have any time this week to put those time blocks on your calendar? And if you do, put your time blocks on your calendar and get those done. Mm-hmm. So essentially what you've done at the end of the week is you've built out your next week and potentially the following week. 1 or 2 week intervals you've built out to work your way towards tackling a subtask. I think 1 to 2 week intervals are good, because if you go any further than that, the problem is Parkinson's law is going to kick in. Life's going to happen. All these other laws and theories are going to happen. Things are going to come up. You're going to get sick. Your kids are going to get sick. You're going to have to work overtime. Something's going to happen and your calendar will fill. So I think working 1 to 2 weeks in the future on these sub goals is an appropriate amount of time. You start to go 4-6 weeks out and you think you're going to dictate what you're doing for the next 4 or 6 weeks, and life is just going to laugh at you.
Yeah. What's that quote from Mike Tyson? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I got this plan for 6 weeks down, and then life punches you in the face. Psychologically, man. But to be fair, psychologically, that can be devastating and get you off the momentum that you started to build in that first week or 2 weeks. So yeah, take the small victories. You know, if you're a checklist person, man, it feels good to check that. You know, just keep checking those things off the list and the momentum goes. But yeah, when you hit that life event that throws it all to heck, then man, that can just take the wind out of your sails, and then it's hard to get going again. So yeah, great advice on breaking it down to 1 week or 2 week intervals. I like that.
Craig, I love, so you talk about a Mike Tyson quote. So there's quite a few Mike Tyson quotes out there. So, I go to the one right away about saying he's going to eat your children. Like there's a ton of, I don't know why my brain just went there. But that is a very good Mike Tyson quote. I just kind of chuckled. You're like, Mike Tyson quote. I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of a family show.
Where's he going with this?
But that's so true. Yeah. Those are, and especially you get hit in the face by Mike, that's
right.
It's going to hurt. So
yeah.
Speaking of face and getting hit in the face, Craig, I completely forgot about this. This is a side commercial, y'all. So just skip ahead 3 minutes if you don't want to hear this. But how could I forget this, Craig?
This is a true ADHD moment. Squirrel.
This is, but this is so worth it. So we have challenged you all out there. So I'm sorry, Craig. I don't know why I find such joy in this.
Let me set it up. So you guys know I had a beard, for those of you watching YouTube, and we took the poll: keep the beard, don't keep the beard. Obviously, the beard's gone. My wife finally said, I like the goatee a little bit better, and that's all she had to say. And it was starting to bug me a little bit anyway. It was getting a little on. I was trying to keep it nice, and it just didn't look good, so I took it off. So anyway. Go ahead, Todd.
So we asked if you liked the beard and didn't like the beard, or if there should be a different type of beard that Craig is growing. So our good friend Tyler Moser, he did some photoshopping of a beard. And then one of those happened to look like a very famous artist right now.
You and I both saw it too. It's like, wait a minute, that looks like, not that I think I look like this guy, but the beard helped.
Yes, the beard definitely helps. So what we then challenge you all to do, and Tyler came through on this one, is we challenge you to create face tattoos on Craig with that beard.
Because that beard looks like Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone. Thank you. So here is, so for you in the car right now, just skip ahead a minute and we'll be done with this. But for you, those of you on YouTube, here is Post Malone.
It just went dark. There we go.
But Ryan, Craig, I don't think I told you this, but Ryan, he actually said this is Post Magnum.
Post Magnum.
So that it kind of works. And the greatest thing about this is, look, y'all, let me zoom in here. Craig got the camera tattooed on his forehead.
You know what?
He's got Spiro.
You know what we can do, Todd, is we can put the full graphic up on screen.
We'll put the whole thing.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's technology.
But check. okay, there's the little camera tattoo up there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Spiro and cursive over here. We'll describe it for those of you listening. And I had mentioned that there was a time in my life I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo, and I wanted the triquetra symbol. So yeah, you got those triquetras right there.
Tyler has sent this to me, and I did lose it. Yeah, it was great. Tyler, thank you so much. It brought so much joy. And I actually got to use this many times now. I used it in our office meeting just a little bit ago. So, Craig, you're such a good sport, but I don't know how we top post-magrum with the facial tattoos and the beard. So I just love it. I think it's great.
I got to share, ladies and gentlemen, I got to share this with you. I've worked for quite a few different companies, and I shared this with Todd. Growing up, I was the nerd. Okay, I was the class nerd, right? I was not the class clown. I feel like the culture that we have at Wow Video Tours and Spiro, it's one of hard work. Definitely, we're busy. We got a lot of things to do, but it's a culture of fun. And I feel like I've turned into a little bit of a class clown because of you, Todd. So thanks a lot.
I am an instigator. I know that. I will take credit for that. Yes,
It's not normally me, but it's been fun. So yeah, Tyler, thank you. All right.
Yeah, Tyler brought great joy to me.
Let the squirrel go.
Back to our regular program.
Right.
Okay, let's refocus.
Right. Where were we?
Goals, breaking apart a big goal into a smaller goal. So what you've done now is you have the next 2 weeks with smaller subtasks involved. So you can forget about that huge goal. Okay. You don't have to. Okay. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. Don't forget about it because you need to remember it to accomplish it, but don't be paralyzed by it. You don't have to try to solve it all at once. You've already got this great stair-stepping approach into solving this big goal. So over the next 2 weeks, begin to cross those tasks off your list. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get to Tuesday, and I think I said Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m., you were going to review, you were going to learn about shooting real estate photography. And that was one of 8 time blocks in this example. And if you get to Tuesday and that happens, great. That is awesome. You now have some momentum going, in your head. That's a win. So that's one step in the right direction. Now, let's say you get to Thursday to your time block that you're going to study and practice, and the world blows up. Just life happens, like Craig mentioned, and you cannot get it done, and you're not going to get it done. Do not leave it on your calendar at Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. Please move that somewhere later on your calendar, because if it becomes a part of the past and you didn't get it done, you're not going to go back and look at it. Okay. So
it's easy to forget.
Yes, it's so easy to forget. So just like Craig did with organizing the basement, he got up to it the weekend. He thought it was empty. He put it on the calendar. It actually wasn't, and that's okay. That's life. He just moved it to the next open time slot, and he did it at that time slot. That is so important. I use this every day. So many of you, if you chat or email in, and I'm going to do something for you, I literally am like, it's on my calendar tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And I don't always get it, because sometimes you get a response back to me and say, hey, I couldn't get to it today. I moved you to 3 p.m. or I moved you to 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. But that I use this tactic with everything I do, and it seems to work for me. So that's essentially the way I learned to take a very big task and break it into smaller tasks. And it coincides with my calendar. I was already a big calendar person. I'm an advocate of the calendar. Just simple things. If you're using, if you're Google, if you're an iPhone user, whatever it is, they all have calendars. They all have reminders. You can share them with people. You can share calendars between each other. So the calendar technology should not be your holdup. Whatever your device you're using, just use the calendar. Make sure it syncs between all of your devices. So my calendar syncs on my laptop. It syncs on my phone. Mm-hmm. My wife gets it so she can check it. So all of that goes together, and use that calendar because it's such a great tool.
Yeah. I've told my wife, if a family event's not on our shared calendar, it does not exist in my mind. I live and die by the calendar. And there was a time in my life where I wasn't as organized, but when you drop enough balls, you understand I've got to do something to fix this and bring some organization and direction and focus to my life. And a calendar is such an easy tool to use it. So if you're not already using one or not using it a ton, get going with a calendar and small goals, break those things down. And again, the momentum that you start to build when you can check those things off and cross those things off your calendar, it will do wonders for you. I mean, psychologically, it will just really encourage you, and you're going to feel accomplished, and then you're going to want to do more. Hey, I got this much done. I can do these next steps and break those down and just keep going after it. And before you know it, you've eaten that entire whale.
Yeah. And that's such a fulfilling, literally and figuratively, feeling when you get that. Right. When you get that big thing done, it is. And the momentum that you can build on that, it's crazy. You know, I'm sure you guys all have days where you're like, hey, that was a really good day. This was for me yesterday. I got so much done, what felt like so much. And I actually used these techniques. I'd moved some calendar events. I needed to get some things done for some individuals. And I finally got them done. And it felt so good to get those things done. And just walking in the next day, like I was ready to tackle it again. And, I think subconsciously those days that you feel like, hey, I got so much done, I think it came down to some organization. I think the ability of focusing and, sometimes it's just some luck too. I didn't have as many new emails yesterday, so I got some more things done. But when all those things line up, what I'm trying to say is it's very fulfilling to get those done. And nobody likes to walk out of the door at night knowing that you have a pile of things that you need to get done. You just don't. So, I suggest to use these tactics. I think if you don't, like I said, the Parkinson's law says that if you don't give it a time, it's going to expand to as much time as you give it.
Good advice this week. Thanks for breaking that down for us, Todd.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Breaking it down for us.
Oh, Craig, that was pretty good.
No,
that was pretty good.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was really
a
bad.
Dad joke.
It was pretty bad. All right. I'm sorry. You were going to say something.
No, I was going to say, so for next week, I was going to first say, if you out there have any questions for us about anything that has to do with real estate media or the grown up business or team management, or just if you want to Photoshop more tattoos on Craig's face, just get a hold of us. hello@spiro.media. If you're interested, again, in the merge fleet, if you're looking for a way to increase your average order value, you should be doing video. And at $10 or $12 a video edit, it's automatic. It's done in 30 minutes. We'd love to help you with some of these things. Okay. If you are or are not a Spiro user, we're just thankful that you're listening to us and you put up with us. And it's great to hear from you guys. The sense of community is amazing.
It really is. And if you have found value or some weird sort of sense of entertainment, feel free to like like the YouTube episode, share it. Anything we can do to help your business, we enjoy that. So those shares and likes helps us get word out more and to be able to help more people. So thank you for watching and listening. All right, next week.
Yes. Next week, we do. Very excited. Mike Burke is going to be on the podcast. Excellent. So many of you know him from his YouTube channel. 55,500 of you subscribe to him. So that's incredible. That's insane. So excited to have him on the podcast next week to share just incredible things with you guys, but really looking forward to Mike Burke coming on next week.
All right. Don't miss it. Make sure you set a reminder or get the reminder. If you subscribe, you'll get that reminder when the next episode launches. So Todd, any final thoughts? Any parting thoughts?
We are getting out of slow season. So now is the time. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but now's the time if you want to start working on your business or you need some things to get done, please, over the next 4 weeks, put them on your calendar and just get them done. Otherwise, it's going to sit on your conscience, it's going to sit on your shoulders, it's going to feel heavy, and you're going to be busy shooting houses or managing your team or whatever you do on the day-to-day. But it's a great time to take advantage of working on your business right now and not just having your business run you.
There you go. Good thoughts. Todd, thanks for everything again this week. Great insight, and we'll be back next week with Mike Burke. Until then, guys, ladies, just take a moment to be thankful for the blessings in your life and make sure you take a breath. Have a great week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.